Good morning, Nate here with the Volunteer Tech Vlog on the Live Sound 101 YouTube channel. Cheers! Take a sip of that coffee if you're watching this in the morning. If not, good generic time of the day to you whenever you happen to be watching this video. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but this is the Live Sound 101 YouTube channel, and this is my my Volunteer Tech Vlog. And I think I mentioned that a couple times, didn't I? Oh man, nice to get an early start. Today I wanted to do a little report about what happened last night, since I think it's important to note. So last night, the camera's getting a little crooked here. Whoop. Let's see if that looks a little better. No, it's a little crooked the other way now. Yeah, I'll live with it. So last night was pretty cool. Had a little meeting with Pete and Josh, and it was kind of a I think you were here first, bud. You can go. Yeah, it's his turn. Gotta love four-way stops. So met with Pete and Josh, and we were talking about audio standards. The whole point of this meeting, three of us getting in the room to talk about dB levels, how loud things should be, target levels, and just kind of like setting some things. And I've been talking about this for a while, but like, where should speech be, you know, when it's just the sermon or somebody up there at the podium talking, how loud should that be? You know, you can have different, you know, philosophies and principles that are guiding those decisions. So I presented some basic levels that I thought were good. Let's see, I got 5 minutes here. So when I record with two cameras, it gives me 5 minutes, but at 1080p. But if I okay, anyway, just a little mental note here. If I record at 720, then I can get 10 minutes. So this is gonna be a little short 5-minute video, and I'll just have to keep my eye on the time. So, levels. Yeah, we did a lot of listening. So I brought some CDs in, and we did some listening around the room to program music, just to, you know, do some kind of tweaking and tuning to the sound system. So the whole point of last night's meeting, which went from like 7:30 till about 10:30, was really just to get the audio in the room sounding better, and try to figure out if there was any little things that we could do to the system, even if they were just quote band-aids, you know, in lieu of, you know, busted out analyzers and DSP equipment and really doing some fine-tuning. What were some just like little things we could do? So we kind of made some global EQ adjustmends to every channel, just to give people kind of like a starting point. Basically limiting the bass, limiting some of the high end, and making sure it doesn't sound too shrill, if you will, because the way our system is currently tuned, it can be ear-piercing if it's not set up quite right. So we made some little adjustments there, where you can go for the extra bass or extra high end, but you have to dial that in. So we cut some things. So, you know, that's debatable over, you know, whether we should have done that or not, but that's just kind of like a little temporary band-aid that we got going on. And then the other thing we did, which was huge, we did a lot of different things and listened to different music. Sorry, excuse me. I got this nasty cough. One of the things we did was we realized and acknowledged the fact that the monitors sounded like garbage. So I've mentioned this in a couple other videos, is the fact that we had noisy monitors. And I've always kind of looked at that as like a big time-consuming project to try to troubleshoot. You know what? I'm gonna take a brief pause here. Be right back. So monitors, I mean, they've been pretty noisy for a while, and you know, I've always looked at that as like a big job to try to troubleshoot, because you gotta, I mean, if you're a church in a box, you set everything up every morning, and there's actually some nice things about that, because you're double checking all your connections and your inputs and your outputs and your gain stages pretty much on a regular basis, right? You got to kind of plug it in and unplug it and make sure everything's set properly. Now, when you don't have that, when you are just in a probably should have stopped at that one, but when you don't have that, when you're in a permanent installation, so to speak. Oh man, these yellow lights are killing me this morning, but I'm sneaking through them. There's this man. How should I say? It's easy to be lazy, and I kind of feel bad about this one because there was a very quick fix, a very easy fix that we did to greatly improve the sound of our monitors, and it didn't take much time at all. And but it took 3 guys. Well, Pete was gone for a while. At least it took 2 guys in a room together, purposefully looking into the audio at the system level versus just coming in and mixing. And it's when you're got an all volunteer team. I'm making excuses right now. I should know better, but when you got an all volunteer team, you're all volunteers. It's easy to not do some of this like basic maintenance and troubleshooting stuff. I don't know why that is. It's just human nature. So I've noticed these noisy monitors for a while, but I just figured, oh, there's gremlins in the system that, you know, there's a grounding issue somewhere, there's lights interfering, you know, there's nothing that we could do to really fix it quickly. And I'll tell you what, 2 things we noticed wrong with the system with just visual inspection. The monitors for the floor, the amplifier channel that drives the floor monitors was cranked up all the way. And I don't think you should ever be in a situation where you got a amplifier channel that is completely maxed out, like 211, right? Like I think this one was a QSC, went up to like 32 or something like that. But this thing was a cranking. So we backed that thing down to like 50% just to see what the difference would be, and the noise was like greatly reduced. And we're like, wow, that's interesting. Just a very basic thing. And then we backed it up a little bit. I think we left it at around 24. So we backed off the amplifiers because there's no need to have those things cranking. I mean, you can get plenty of level just by turning up the faders on the main mix, or the fader of the whatever channel you're driving there. So that was the first big thing that was kind of like a red flag. I'm not sure how that happened. I mean, different people have access to that closet. I don't know exactly, but that was like, wow. It's almost like, I don't wear glasses, but I hear people use this analogy a lot. It's almost like when your prescription for your contacts, your glasses is like overdue and you're seeing everything blurry, and then like you keep putting it off, and then you see it, like you get your prescription and you're like, wow, I can see everything so clearly now. Why did I wait so long? It's kind of like that. It's like, holy cow, why didn't I just do some basic troubleshooting to mitigate that noise? But that was only half the problem. The other part of the problem was we had a graphic EQ that was still in the signal chain. I thought we got rid of all those graphic EQs, but down in the amp closet, apparently there was still a graphic EQ that was being deployed. And you know what happened? I located the bypass button, and voila, that monitor sound cleaned up in an instant. It sounded crystal clear as soon as I bypassed that graphic EQ that was super noisy. So yeah, that was like a huge win, I think, for last night. And it wasn't like what we intended to do. We were just intending to listen to different dB levels and kind of, you know, hear how the room sounded and try to, you know, take notes and point out different you know, flaws in our system and ways to improve in terms of level. But man, that was a big win for last night, just cleaning up that noise in the monitors. But anyway, just a quick little report video there. My name is Nate. I'll see you in the next video.